Get that Wi-Fi together, Shine. Here we go again. You ready? Nah, for real. Nah, for real. For real. Real talk. Real talk. Are you ready? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm coming to y'all. I don't even know what color this is. I don't know if this is peach. I don't know what color this is, but I love the color of this hoodie. I gotta wait every year to the perfect point of the year, perfect weather to put this hoodie on. This hoodie don't come out in the wintertime. And see, that's how dedicated I am. It's how consistent I am. Let's go ahead and make sure we got the levels right. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm being respected by the, okay, all right, cool. Stream God respecting your boy. Anyway, my bad. Listen, my name is Six Paths Dice. Mr. Lane, if you need me, what's good? How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing good today. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into a few different things. I thought I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all. I haven't given y'all a full Drake show in a little bit. I've been in battle mode, so I just had a battle with my man Don F. Skizzy on Global Rap Cypher a few weeks ago. About almost 2 weeks ago now, and I got another one coming up against my man Sauce Rube on the trap. I ain't been on the trap in a long time, so my schedule been a little busy, but we're gonna go ahead and get back to it. You understand? So we're gonna get into the Drake joint and also my favorite time of the year, which is kind of mostly the whole year. Now that I'm kind of thinking about it, it's Love After Lockup time, baby. Should I do my dance early? Should I do it later? Love After Lockup time. Love After Lockup time. It's Daddy's favorite show. It's Daddy's favorite show. Love After Lockup time. Love After Lockup time. It's Daddy's favorite show. Yeah, it's Daddy's favorite show. Money is your God. Anyway, so if you're new to the channel, you know what I mean? Listen, we like to go ahead and start off with a song. You understand me? You know what I'm saying?
I want your body. If you love me, let me get your body.
Have a good time, man. My name is Six Paths Dice. Mr. Lane, if you need me. Let's get it. Man, girlfriend, shit, I got it going on. Step back like you got some hot shit going on. I wanna look you in your eye when that shit's gone wrong. I wrote this commandments and I put them in a song. My own man, never play my problems with wifey. I'm my own man, never play my problems with wifey. His zone got me feeling like beers or nothing like it. I ain't talking like this, so you niggas to fucking like it. I'm on my dreams, and I like to admit, yeah, I know it's been a while. I've been working on my shit. Black Wall Street back, Black Wall Street back. I mean, shout out to my homies that will listen to me rap. Shout out to Mitchell, as Nigerian say, I turn heroes to mirrors. I'm going hard in the pit. Got the guys with us. Show me love, give me that. Yo, shout out to my hunger that I shouldn't be fucking. All sex ain't good. I got spiritual budget. She go, oh, she wally wally, oh, she bang bang. Always want to be my cutty buddy, girl. We gang gang. Fun with the top down, with the full leg, cause she running in the thing, still trying to maintain. Young nigga, stop wasting your time. I ain't gonna let me go, daddy, but respect my mind. It's a G.O.D. It's my devil's on the die. You got a J.O.B. What's up? I think that money is the guy. Got J.O.B. I said, it's my devil's on the die. It's on the J.O.B. What's up? Man, girlfriend, shit, I got it going on. Step back like you got some hot shit going on. I got my dad hat, doing dad hacks and the act on. Shout out to my homies that will listen to me rap. They saying, Bill, bro, why you feel like that? You went to Umar school, you ain't built like that. Yeah, I feel like Goku. Touching down on that, prefer two-ass skirt. If she let me do that, she gonna make me depressed. She gonna make me a sandwich, no bread, no pop. I ain't mistaken that habits are fucking sophisticated, so fucking established. Yeah, my ego was massive. These young hoes catty. I said, swing, better, get your egghead beat. Put your ass in the dirt, nigga, that's rest that beat. I don't feel like big niche, but it's like that. Take a break, then I'm right back. When they put my son on the spectrum, I told him fight that. It's like that. Tell my bitch I'm really like that. She know I'm a dog, I'm just hoping that she bite back. I got in a million things, but I feel that she felt that. With the trust game, and she felt that. She talk on my purpose like on me in the Hellcat. Then I pay the price, but I ain't bitch about the sales tax. When I step in the room, got the hotels in position. Rubies and diamonds that lit up my tomb. I'll be back soon. Yeah. Security clearance. I know it's mine. She gotta go to security clearance. Yeah, Winville. Vegas and Karen, Shannon's Karen, security clearance, security clearance, security clearance. SMD for the Gucci store. Back room, try to group some more. I ain't working hard to look broke like you. White collar boss in the hood, I kill when your dogs get after the bad, bring it back to the family. Was better than that. Moment is now, yeah, confident. I bad young girl, get my off the deal. We rolling out like an armadillo. I know where you live. I sing your Zillow. Boyfriend, one straight place with me. Turn Neiman Marcus, smack DVD. I ride P to the PayPal. Pay P the back with pause investment. Black woman saying ain't no protection. Smart man need to watch the way he invested. The vest them leaves the life so precious. Men want to be with their own. Stop guessing. I don't ask no bitch. I don't answer her question. Smart man need to watch the way he invests. More popular than all my classmates. That's flunking out and coming to class late. Oh, she my side. She winning. She barreled. I told my good sister no waiting for marriage. Security clearance. Security clearance. Security clearance. I know it's mine. She got to go through security clearance. Yeah, we in the field. Vegas and Karen, Sharon is Karen. Security clearance. Does that sound good? I 34 lost on my Anderson. She broke. She say she got businesses. Bitch, we outside. Hello, ubiquitous. Know what them bitch fuck it up on the fly. I saw you like Icarus. I'm on some different shit. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Some Miss American into a run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Getting caught my side bitch, cost me a tiny side 12 years later, still watch the throne. Niggas in Paris, you can watch them home. I watch my throne, I don't watch them niggas. 7 figures with the billboard lit up. Everyone near me, I'm paying for lease. Beauty and brains, the props and the peace, diplomatic immunity, smoke with the leaf. Old money, young money, how you compete? Treating me better when I wasn't popping. No, I'm the man, that's more your problem. Infinity blunt, smile at the point when I do what I want. Papa used to take the long way home, dropping these dudes, he was putting me on. The girl treat you like you a whole bitch. You done build shit that you don't own shit. This is mentor shit, this is playing your dick. I'm the big bro nigga Klitschko shit, putting on my mama like they was dumb to spawn bombs to chop them cause no compromising. Don't compromise they dicks and chop. Security clearance, security clearance, security clearance. No, it's mine. She gotta go to security clearance. Yeah, we in the field. Vegas and Karen, Shannon's Karen. Security clearance, security clearance, security clearance. Fuck it up, fuck it up. Run it up, run it up. One more.
My Lord.
I see you for who you are. I see you. This for all the time, all the time, all the time. Oh, yo, soup, blueberry cool. Swerving that bitch like blueberry soup from the batter home to the catacombs. I turn the key now, daddy home. Stay long enough, you call the twist. Get my rocks off with a gorgeous bitch. Protect myself, I record the shit. More foes who know resist. When you with, moving the money, robbing and weaving the men about town. Robbing police, and I'm down to make it back by the weekend. Y'all made myself, how the fuck is we even? I'm feeding my ego on big amounts. Now my job can figure you out. And I ain't winging this shit. I put wings in that bitch. Tell a friend she got phone when yeah, I'm acting my age, nigga. And I'm acting my wage, nigga. Boss said it's your face, nigga. That still ain't love. That's rage, nigga. Never been on MTV, but I made myself into a maid, nigga. I get GFE for my maid, nigga. I'm in the crib with the sage, nigga. All right, I did that shit for the baby. Some heroes don't wear capes. They pull up in a Mercedes. I'm saying all of my niggas is covered in gold. Put in my homies is covered in gold. All of my niggas be covered in gold, covered in gold, covered in. Need my baby in feminine role. She getting her role. She getting that role. She mad. The generals know. Chelsea Boost with the cinnamon salt. Cinnamon crunch. You can bite me, bitch. Man, no, man. He don't like the shit. This is heart to heart. Don't write me, bitch. And I ain't here to talk no inspiring shit. Ooh. I see you for who you are, who you are. I can see you for who you are. When I'm next to you, I see you. It's for all the times, all the times. All the times I put in overtime. Let's get it. Oh yeah, showing the best behavior. That's all yeah. Respect for me on God's head. You don't fuck with me, you get lost here. Blueberry soup, blueberry cool. Swerving that bitch like blueberry soup. But the driver looking like me or you. Well, it's going to be me or you. That rope a dope for these niggas. I don't choke for smoking these niggas. I don't waste the motion. I'm giving, going through the motion with niggas. Yo, ghetto superstar like prize, my nigga. Manifest destiny like Nas, my nigga. Winter's here and there's no doubt. Don't speak to me when it's cold out. Bank accounts get closed out. I'm in church, get have my toes out. Feeding my ego in bigger amounts. Now my job can figure you all night. Winging this shot, put wings that bitch. Other friend, she got flown up, yeah.
I accuse you of capital. I want your body. If you love me, let me get your body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you think I have somebody I love in the bricks?
Donations, 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 gifts, 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 more gifts,
More gifts, nigga. What? Oh, hold on, one more. What?
And sooner or later, her cookies get crushed.
Cookies get crushed, my nigga. We here. My name is Six Paths, Dice Mr. Land, if you need me. The hood may go back on. It depends on how I'm feeling. I have to remind myself to be animated when I get up here with y'all. I gotta make sure I'm giving y'all life. Cause you know what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I'm here to work, baby. I got the sun shining down on me. You understand? Listen, if you with me, you should be getting 15 to 20,000 steps a day, my G, for at least 3 days a week. Why can't you do it? You should do it. Go do it now. We're getting extra fine for the summertime. I don't want no one complaining about how fine the Six Paths is getting. And relax. I know what you've been waiting for. I know what you've been wanting. Relax. I know what the bitch need. That's my whole style. That's my whole appeal at this point. To explain to you who I am at this point in life. I'm just young. We're not gonna say no. I'm Mr. I'm almost 40 now. I'm Mr. now. You gotta say Mr. when you talk to me. It don't matter if you say Mr. Smarty Pants, okay, or Mr. Big Johnson. However you want to do this, call me Mr. Got the volume up in my mic. I don't want my neighbors complaining and sending me blank emails that I don't understand and don't know if they're threats or not. But I'm still gonna remain animated. So we're gonna be getting into this whole Drake thing, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and react to a video from my man Anton Daniels, and he did a pretty good reaction and very good video. 1 second. We are back. You know what I'm saying? We are back. You know what I'm saying?
Little ninja, I see you, little crusty ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja.
I see little crusty ninjas out there. So this is actually some really big news, honestly. So even if this is halfway true, basically it's over. Everything's back to normal. Drake has been tearing you niggas up with a collab album that he did. T-Pain did a live at some point. He said this album sounds like the throwaways from the last two Party and Drake albums. And you know what? I actually didn't really listen to those albums like that. And now that I'm listening to For the Dogs and everything, and I played I recently heard the Party album a few times. I liked it a lot. I just haven't had time, right? But I know what he means. But the thing is, it doesn't matter because this is a different project. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, what you hear on the Some Sexy Songs for You project, and when I just dropped this, that's what it sounds like when people make good songs. There is no, listen, the measure of songs being good is based off of how people enjoy them. That's what makes it a good song. Okay? For the Kendrick Lamar narrative, you ninjas have tried to argue that basically songs that sound bad can still be valid, and you don't make the artist good that way. That's what made Nas whack for years. Because for the most part, yo, I mean, like, listen. At the time, it was blasphemous to say Nas was whack. Well, Nas was making whack music, but Nas got a lot of whack shit out there. You know what I'm saying? There was a point when niggas was kind of done with Nas, and his career was a little dead. He wasn't really popping no more. You gotta realize in the 90s, rappers had a really short shelf life. It wasn't no all this longevity shit. For the most part, Hove and Nas are the first rappers to be hot in other eras where there are other people that's hot. You know what I'm saying? Basically in eras that aren't really their era. Like Jay's era is the mid-90s. That's really his actual era. But Jay was able to keep extending his life or the lifespan of his career. But for one, he made the right choices. He was very intelligent about how he made music. He understood that he couldn't make all the music himself. A lot of artists don't get that. And that's why the music isn't good, because you don't use writers, you don't get people in the room, you don't get you don't get, and that's what Nas never did that. Nas never got the young hot niggas and the young lit niggas around him, because that's how Jay stayed hot. Jay's style is a combination of everyone that was on Rockefeller. Literally. Like, you can say that he perfected his style after he absorbed Young Chris's style. A lot of how that bounce that Jay rap way, that's really Young Chris. Listen to Young Chris and go listen to the blueprint and listen to how Hov is bouncing on the beat and whatnot. He got that from Young Chris. But that's besides the point. Anyway, so I just want to point that out in terms of what I've been experiencing and what I've been seeing. Because again, like when I heard the GNX album, it sounded the raps, the songs sound very much like you're going to praise me no matter what I do. Even his disses during his beef, even his disses, the fact that he had the balls to put out Meet the Grams as a diss, the diss record always has to be at least a little bit jamming. That's what makes it a diss record. He put out Meet the Grams, like those songs sounded mad scattered and unfocused. Okay, and not like this. I don't know. That shit is ass, man. I hate that record. I just because it's so desperate. It's so desperate, and for a culture that always scrutinizes black men making all the perfect moves, doing everything correctly, doing everything in a perfect way because you hate it, and that's the thing. American black people, African Americans, we have such an effed up way of seeing things, and I think we don't realize again, our way of thinking is influencing the world. I was watching an Angry Man episode, and he was talking about how our culture is infectious, meaning that now that we're on social media and we're on media more than ever, with all these bad representations, all these musical artists who basically have no morals, they don't care about family at all. All the women are gay. They're either gay or like assassin level gold diggers. You know what I'm saying? Like ruthless. Because that's what female rap is. That's what female rap and female R&B is at this point. It's just, I'm this ruthless, horny bitch. I'm ruthless, I'm horny, and I want everything to be easy, and I always got a complaint in my mouth. And that's me. Anyway, I wanted to go there first. Started going a rant, but we got time today. I started early. I got my lighting right. I like coming to y'all at nighttime. So it's being as though we're in the summertime. It's different doing content now because I'm used to like the lighting in here when it's dark. It's about to get dark in a little bit, and my window faces like the parking lot and whatnot. I wish I could show y'all, but that would be weird. But anyway, so I think we talked for long enough, man. I think I answered the subject long enough, man. So I bought all these things up because I really felt like that's what ruined the back and forth. You know what I mean? What ruined the back and forth was the people who are arguing in favor of the person that they like, or maybe they like more, tried to make the argument or basically make it about several other things. It became about Drake's blackness. It became about who he sleeps with. It became so Kendrick did dick policing, he did virtue signaling, you know what I'm saying? Basically he helped to invoke the victim mindset. All right. But not only that, what we saw the most during this whole thing is human beings are savages. We forget this. Good men civilized the world and created laws and rules and religion. That's why that's why this world is safe for you. Is because men put together systems to create safety and stability. Because again, nothing can happen without stability. If you love your family and your kids, man, you gotta get out the hood. That's my goal more than ever now. Like, y'all, I don't want to live nowhere near here no more. I don't want to live nowhere near none of this stuff no more. Nowhere near it. All right. When I have a family, I don't want to be nowhere near here. All right. But But I mean, I bring these things up because what would on and Drake has a line on Give Me a Hug. He says, Neo in the Matrix, these niggas is Nemo in the motion, little fish trying to make kids feel emotions. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what went on to the point where Kendrick Lamar, this was the highlight of your career. A rap artist, especially a rap artist that doesn't have hits, being able to perform at the Super Bowl, not only that, and it was very obvious that all these things were happening to make Not Like Us look more valid. All right, let's go ahead and give him not just one Grammy, let's give him 5 Grammys. And because his album dropped, I think outside like the eligibility, like I think it might have just made it. Right, this is an album that people just heard, right? So I forget what he got them all for, but then after that, you got friggin' Conan O'Brien making jokes about Kendrick and Drake, and basically he made a joke saying, now was the part of the evening where Kendrick Lamar comes out and called Drake a PDF file, and it really was funny, and that was facts. Because like when you had a whole room of people singing A minor at the I think it was the Grammys, right? You got to think about what that says. And Azalea Banks made a brilliant observation by saying the fact that y'all laugh at and joke about and tease Drake about him possibly being a PDF file means that you obviously don't think it's true. Because in what world is the possibility of him being a PDF file something that you just loosely talk about on the record and sing about the Super Bowl? They couldn't show Janet Jackson's bare breast at the Super Bowl. They let Kendrick Lamar do a parade New Orleans style performance, which is a song about it's basically about a song about how white people are terrible, and Drake is terrible because he has white, basically because he's half white. So that makes he's a bad person because he's half white. He's a thief, right? He doesn't do anything for the community. He takes from us, so on and so forth. When in all actuality, this is the dude who got you popping. I remember where Kendrick was at. I remember seeing his shit on Complex and NotRight.com. I was not clicking that shit. I didn't click that shit until when I heard him on the Drake album. And I thought it was Drake rapping at the time for a minute. That's like, okay, wow, that sounds different. Because if you listen to Buried Alive, it do sound like Drake. And then I learned, this is Kendrick Lamar. This is pretty. I like this shit. This is pretty dope. Then I heard Section 80. Then after that, he took him on tour. 2013, that album came out. All that shit went in order. He got a big boost from that, right? For Kendrick to be up here talking all this shit, you understand? When like, you ain't never been hot without Drake. 2013, you cooled down, you came out trying to diss Drake again. You know what I'm saying? And Drake was smart and never really engaged. But let me tell you why I think he engaged this time. I think Angry Man made the same point. I think that he knew. Well, for one, I think either Angry Man or the Joe Budden podcast was making a point about why would he engage in this with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, at the end of the day, the media programs you do stories and movies and stuff like that to always, because who are the rich people in every story? The rich people are always evil, or the people who have money, the people who have ability, the people who are talented, the people who are beautiful. And every story ever told on TV and movies, most of the time, they're usually evil, especially if they have any wealth, especially just any of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that people who have wealth don't ever do anything evil or bad, right? But your people will get into that mindset without knowing anything about them. Okay, which is one more reason of why people fed into this whole thing, because again, it's a time where it's acceptable to shit on somebody, and we have to always resist the urge to shit on people. So hence, I think the one example that I think we're all guilty of is how we treat homeless people. Now, I may not always give them money. I may not, you know what I'm saying, always, kick it with them and whatnot, but I never ignore them and I always try my best to make eye contact if I can. And I might get annoyed from time to time because, like, you're trying to get, through this door, and you have a doorman out here, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, being where I've been over the last couple of years, which I always had compassion, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I always think I'm always like grateful. You know what I'm saying? I don't carry cash and whatnot. And also, it's like, you know, when you know how all this shit works, man, most of all people, they don't need your money. All right. They may want some extra money, but they getting the check and they're getting benefits. All right. If they not, then they stupid. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, I know I'm going off on tangents and whatnot. But this case with Drake and UMG has been going on for a while now. So the case is mostly, it was always about Drake was suing UMG. He was never suing Kendrick Lamar in particular. But the thing is, what I realized, and I commented on this yesterday about how we have so much more media and so many more voices. So when things trend, they trend from content creators and people commenting on something online, right? And using certain words, and also from content creators creating content. And to have content, you got to have a narrative. So I get it, right? But the whole narrative, I saw a video yesterday with this guy who was a Super Saiyan soft nigga. He had blonde hair. So I guess he was going Super Saiyan soft. And the ninja said, you know, so I thought that Drake was in a coffin after the performance at the Super Bowl. But surprisingly, so the story was about how Drake surprisingly put out Nokia. Like he was talking about the success that he's getting, and I'm like, but that was a narrative being pushed the whole time, was that, yo, this guy's career is over. People are not going to listen to him anymore, and they're not going to listen to him no more because of Kendrick Lamar. And it's like, and again, that is the power of a narrative. All right, in terms of what people tell you and what people gaslight you into. All right, gonna find out listen, when a certain time came, listen, when the smoke cleared, a lot of podcasts, including the Joe Budden podcast, started saying different things. Admitting that family matters was tougher. You know why? Because they weren't being paid to anymore. A lot of people got paid. A lot of people got the perks of being able to play the song during a stream and a show. But the narrative that was pushed because from the beginning it was always about Drake is defeated, Drake needs to go away, and in so many words, Drake's stock is down, which was never true. Right. And I bring this up because y'all got to get out of that shit, man. That's you being programmed to hate success, because as long as you hate successful people, you will never be successful, or you won't reach your full potential because you don't understand how shit works. Come on, man.
That's my shit. Play that.
You understand?
Here's what we doing right now.
No, Joe.
You feel me? So let's go ahead and play a video for my man Anton Daniels. Yo, we're gonna be here for a little bit, man. We rocking out tonight. We doing some content tonight. We're doing the old school. I ain't gave y'all a 2-hour show in a little bit, man. Let's get to it. So shout out to Anton Daniels. He gonna share this joint. And matter of fact, I'm gonna play it on full screen. I'm gonna get my ice pack right back, y'all. Fair use. Thank you, Anton.
What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I want to have a discussion really quickly from a business perspective, and I guess we can talk culturally, because you can't really talk culturally about hip hop or rap music without looking at it from a business perspective. But I want to talk a little bit, and I'm going to share this article with you guys so that we can really have this conversation in truth about the recent revelations and the court documents that has been revealed to show several different things in this whole Drake process. Now, for those of us that's been living under a rock and we have to refresh your memory, obviously we know that Drake and Kendrick Lamar had a battle, and it took over the whole music industry. And lo and behold, obviously we had the Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar, which personally I thought was a little bit lackluster. I'm not really for all of the Black Lives Matters content and stuff like that. But more importantly, Kendrick Lamar got the opportunity to do the Super Bowl, and so salute to him. Outside of that, though, Drake had already previously filed a lawsuit, and people had took that as a massive L because they said that Drake just couldn't take his loss like a man, and so on and so forth. I thought that Kendrick Lamar ultimately could be declared the winner because Not Like Us was the biggest hit, but I thought that Drake had the best diss record, personally.
So, just real quick, but before we even go any further with that, right? That's what I noticed. People who got motion, people who want to continue to do well, right? People who have ambition, right? And people who think for themselves recognize from the get-go. Because if you think about the content, first of all, it's a lot of content. He's angling the fuck out of him. It was always an underdog thing. What I realize in battles is that most of the time when I battle people, I realize, oh, I'm not the underdog. That's why you're not giving me as much credit. I'm not the underdog. Oh, it's interesting. So you don't see me as like the dominant one. Because if you saw me as not being as good as this person, you would be more impressed when I start getting off. But in most battles, I'm not really an underdog. It's kind of people kind of feel that I'm getting ready to take the shit. Pause. I mean like that. I'm getting ready to take the battle.
Little ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja.
Protein shit. But people saw Kendrick Lamar as the underdog, whether you want to say it or not. Because it really, when Kendrick got out there and embarrassed himself at the Super Bowl and everything, because for the most part, because that's when it became clear you don't have hits. And you know the argument people made for this nigga? The performance wasn't for you. It wasn't about enjoying music. That's like going to a strip club, right? And you waiting for these dancers to come out, and then some niggas, and then some dudes just come out and start dancing. You like, yo, what's going on? Like where's the girls at? And you like, everything's not about vagina and ass and titties and seeing a bad bitch. Like you can't do something different from time to time. You can't watch this man express himself, and you can't support this man. Oh, you get brothers keeper? And I'm gonna say, nah, nigga, I'm straight.
Little ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja.
Not me, nigga. Anyway, but anyway, I just want to point that out. That like I'm like, because where I'm at in life now, because some of my favorite songs I still had in the playlist and when from K-Dot. And like I remember even when I heard Mr. Morale, like it was awkward. Like I liked a few songs on there, but they weren't like last album good. I never got to that whole album. And even back then, I never called it whack, even though I knew I didn't like it. I remember thinking like, wow, I'm not impressed by this shit at all. Like, and I remember making excuses for him, like, well, you know. I remember saying to my boy one time that Kendrick Lamar, the way I see it is like, yo, he has to go through his own path. Because I mean, in a way, right? Being an artist, right? For some people, they have to go through certain journeys and whatnot to give you these magical moments. But then I realized, you know what? Actually, no. Yeah, he can go through the journeys, right? Or just go through certain steps or certain phases to give us a magical moment, meaning a good song, but he also does not have to include all of the not good songs on the album. He'll give you an album with a bunch of not good songs on it. Okay, like, but anyway, when he went up there at the Super Bowl, that's when we realized you're not really a superstar like that. Like you're not really a superstar like that. Not really. Because more and more, I remember over the years, I used to be thinking like, man, like Kendrick Lamar be getting some big looks because like, yo, a rapper that had that kind of content back in the day, he wasn't getting no looks. Like I always thought it was weird. Like the love he got. I remember years ago, Lady Gaga had put up a tweet saying, Kendrick Lamar, when's your album coming out? I want to go to the clubs and dance again. And I remember thinking like, Kendrick doesn't have songs that they play in the club. At that point, especially back in 2012, Kendrick didn't have no songs that they played in the club. He didn't have no club records or records that you would play in the club. I remember thinking like, what song? like what song is that? You know what I mean? So Lady Gaga, even at that time, is still a huge pop star, right? And she actually was on the original version of Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, and it was very good. I'm not sure why she wasn't on it, right? But she was on the original version, or there's a version out there with her singing the hook. Very dope, right? But at the time, I didn't realize, oh shit. So this was always an industry push. That was to promote him. Everything that happened, the looks he got from Drake, all of this was to make sure that he got to a certain level. And I was watching a show with Angry Man, and he pointed this out, how the content of Kendrick's songs and raps, he pointed this out in a few different ways. In one episode, he talked about how when he wasn't doing good, he can get into his music a little bit more. But once he started doing better, he didn't like his music as much anymore. And I never had the words for it. But when I was younger and I wasn't doing good, like I liked his songs more. But as I started doing better in life, I started to listen to him a little bit less. And if I don't relate to that. Not that he's rapping about being broke, but it's the whole vibe, how the song sound, what he represent. And for the most part, it's just, I mean, listen, it's cool. We have different standards for different niggas. Niggas don't want to say this shit, but Nas was never fucking with Jay. You know why? Because Nas could give you a song that Jay you would never allow. He can give you a quality of song or give you verses and lyrics you would never tolerate from Jay, or you would never listen to it and say that's fire. That'll be fire coming from Hove. You know why? Because you looking for Hove to give you them joints. And I'm not saying Nas don't got no joints, but he don't got joints like Hove. Okay, like Nas would die against Hove in the verses. Like for the most part, the only nigga that can do a verses with Hove is Drake. All right, if you really thinking about it, maybe Busta, right? But Busta don't got enough iconic Johns where his verses on them are iconic. Hove got mad memorable iconic verses. Hove could do the Blueprint. You would have a hard time beating the Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? You would have a tough time beating the Blueprint. Like only a nigga like Drake could get up there and battle the Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? You understand? Especially if you put all three together, that's tough for most niggas. Excuse me, miss. You know what I'm saying? The Nas this, the You Don't Know remix, the You Don't Know, the original You Don't Know, you know what I'm saying? H to the Izzo, girls. Man, listen, the list goes on, you understand? But anyway, let me let Anton continue to cook.
Something that I wanted to hear, something that when he switched the beat 3 different times and all of that was for me. But again, I know that a lot of people don't consider me a hip hop aficionado because I don't create content around hip hop or address every single beef or do album reviews. But we all like music. We all love hip hop. And I'm not going to switch my content to do that just to be able to justify giving my opinion. But more importantly, I like to look at things from a business perspective. And this is where I really shine. Over on this article in particular, and this is courtesy of BBC. I know a lot of y'all think of BBC a little bit differently, but it is a very, very valid news source. And I want to go over this really quickly with you guys to see exactly what this is. And the reason that I want to do that is because people think that Drake's real lawsuit or what he was doing was against Kendrick Lamar. I don't think so. I think that Drake was really trying to focus on his bag and also at the same time possibly take down the music industry. And if there's anybody that was powerful enough to do it, maybe it was him or Taylor Swift. But this is courtesy of the BBC. It says the court gives Drake access to Kendrick's contracts, which is.
So real quick, UMG has been trying to get the judge to deny Drake. Basically, what Drake is trying to do is get access. I don't know who's calling me. What Drake is trying to do is get access to the books, right? And so when it comes to these kind of things and whatnot, people have a right to what's called discovery. So that means a right to certain records and whatnot, and so they can get a better understanding of who got paid, who was incentivized, and how far back does this go, right? So again, what Drake is alleging is that UMG used the money that they made from Drake's catalog in order to fund the marketing and the boost of this record. Okay, So just give you a little more clarity. All right. And also going back to what Anton said, he said Drake was saying more things that I wanted to hear. All right. So if you follow Anton's content, Anton's a little more conservative. He's more so about God and family and continuously elevating and having the conversations needed to help the community be better, especially Black men. I've been heavily influenced by Anton more in ways they will never know. Honestly, Anton's one of the main reasons why I'm doing content today. Because I remember following him, and I love his mindset, and I love how easy he made it seem, and how relatable he seemed. Man, he just doing his work. You know what I'm saying? I remember like when he was at a certain level of subs, and to see how the numbers he does now, like it's really inspiring, honestly. And he's just, it is mostly, the challenge is mostly about being consistent. That's how far you can get by having a quality show and being consistent. But anyway, but going back to what I was saying about the whole content, right? Depending on where you are, listen, certain lyrics hit different for you depending on where you are in your life, right? Like with Hove, one of the reasons why niggas didn't like Hove subconsciously is because he made it clear that you're going to have to be better, all right? Because what Hove rapped about was about elevation, and Hove was also giving y'all a unique perspective and a unique look into the life of someone who's in a unique position. Hove was somebody who's from the bottom, the absolute bottom of society, and managed to rise to the top. You know what I mean? He talked a lot about your relationships and friendships and the different dynamics that go on when you're the guy on top. So, for example, with Hove, we never seen someone get attacked as much as niggas attacked and win at Hove. All right, niggas been trying to jam Hove up for years from different lawsuits, different beefs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Hove was the nigga. I mean, listen, people had rap beefs and whatnot, but Jay-Z was the nigga to this. You know what I'm saying? And in my era, when I was younger, it was cool to basically say shit on Hove, because what people would do was shit on Hove in favor of Nas or Wu-Tang. Even by that time, Wu-Tang was old news. Like the members of Wu-Tang still did music, but it wasn't no Wu-Tang albums coming out. So Wu-Tang was before my time. That's 94. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I was never around no one who was playing Wu-Tang like that. You know what I mean? I knew who they was, and I knew about ODB and stuff like that. And I was, my uncle had that tape and whatnot. So he probably was playing it. But they wasn't. Because they didn't have commercial success like that, at least to the point where I knew the records and whatnot. I knew Method Man and shit like that, but that was, even at that point, again, that was like old school sounding at that time. Like Method Man sounded a little bit old, not old school, but a little 90s at that time. You feel me? Because they era that this wasn't 2000s, not really their era. They still sounded good in the 2000s, right? But it wasn't really their era. But anyway, I just want to touch on what Anton said in terms of the perspective, in terms of like who you are, has a big impact on how you heard those records. Because I heard Drake make valid points that actually were good angles, and they would be good angles in a battle. Whereas for the most part, what Kendrick did was basically a Hail Mary. It was a self-destruct button. He said, listen, I'm going to make this about race. I'm going to make this about the fact that you're not a nigga like me. I'm going to make everything that's good about you a negative thing. I'm going to take the fact that you have Jewish heritage, and even though Jewish people pay me and write my checks and whatnot, I'm going to do this shit, because Kendrick does this shit where because again, this is something that Black people with a poor mindset get into, which is the joy of trying to talk shit to white people, or getting confrontational with white folks, or talking bad about white folks to their face. You know what I'm saying? Despite whether it's appropriate or whether it's even constructive. So with that performance, the argument can just be made that, well, it's about symbolism and all this other bullshit. Yo, get the fuck out of here. You did a bunch of whack ass songs at that performance. Like, yo, do the ones that we wanted. Matter of fact, if you would have did Poetic Justice, that'd been a whole different beast. If he would have did Fucking Problems with A$AP Rocky and Drake, that would have been epic. That actually would have been good. You understand? If we would have did Loyalty with Rihanna, that would have been awesome. No. Anyway, my bad.
Major. And this is a part of the discovery process. It says Drake has been given a green light to access sensitive record company documents in his ongoing defamation case over Kendrick Lamar's song Not Like Us. The star had asked for copies of Kendrick Lamar's recording contract as well as information on salaries and bonuses for senior executives at his record label at Universal. Now, why is this important? Why would he want to know bonus information and salaries? Because one of the things that has been, reported, or one of the things that's being accused of UMG, is that they're doing the same thing that they did to Drake and Kendrick Lamar, that they did to Big and Pac, and so on and so forth. Basically, that they're trying to incentivize each other to tear each other down, and they are promoting Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us unfairly, as well as other things, in order to try to capitalize off of and hedge their bets against Drake, because Drake doesn't need to be the only star that's generating the majority of the revenue over at UMG. So they're using him. Basically, this is what he's saying, right? In a nutshell, in a summary, from a C student's perspective, is that they're using him to continuously build up other artists, but at his detriment, all right? And that's why he wants to know, who's getting a bonus as a result of what's happening? What are the salaries of the people that's making money off of this? Who's helping who? And I also want to know his contract, because I want to know what incentives that he has and what you guys are doing on the back end, because we really need to get all of the cards out on the table. Says that Drake is accusing the company of defamation by allowing Lamar's song to be published and promoted, claiming that it spread false and malicious narrative that he is a P word, right? Universal filed to dismiss the case last month, calling it a logical attempt to silence Lamar's creative expression. Imagine that. Imagine your record label that owns and promotes both of you guys' music, making money on both sides. Goes on to say it also asks for a pause in the evidence gathering process known as discovery while that request was considered. However, on Wednesday, the judge ordered that the discovery should continue. Michael Gottlieb, Drake's lead lawyer, celebrated the decision in a statement to the BBC. Now it's time to see what UMG was so desperately trying to hide.
Now, so real quick. So if you haven't been following this, right? And again, let's just follow the logic of, if there's nothing to hide and you're telling the truth, why wouldn't you want to produce the evidence that you're telling the truth if you had nothing to hide? UMG has been trying to stop him from moving this situation forward from the beginning. They've been trying to have it dismissed. They have not been trying to fight this case whatsoever. Angry Man made a brilliant point, and that point speaks to, again, you watch too much goddamn TV and movies, and in TV and movies, and shout out to Jordan Peterson, he made this point too about, in TVs and movies, the alpha male is always the villain. The alpha male is always a bad guy. The strongest guy, the most popular guy, the most good-looking guy is always a bad guy. The guy who has money is always an asshole. He's always a terrible fucking person. And what that does is make you root for the little guy, make you root for the loser, make you follow the loser. Kendrick Lamar could never fuck with Drake. Y'all say that Negroes do that just to shit on you, because they jealous of how good you are. So what they'll do is, this is something niggas really do. They will say that someone is comparable to you, or as good as you, or compare them to you, or basically put you on the same space as a jab, because they know that you're not, and they know it's insulting to you. That's another thing that we do on this channel, is I help you to also improve your communication and your understanding. Same voice you talk with, the same voice you think with, right? So when I say that, I'm talking about how, what I also point out is, knowing someone's attacking you, because you cannot flourish, you cannot grow, you cannot become great being around people who tell you that you ain't shit, or make you feel like you ain't shit. Yo, give me a second, yo. My bad. I don't know, man. Somebody called me for some number and they're not leaving no message or texting me, so it can't be urgent. So,
says, according to the court filing, Drake's team is seeking documents including all contracts between UMG and Kendrick Lamar, and the salaries and incentives plans for senior record label staff going back to 2020. They want to know everything. They want to know what the plan was, if this was always in the works, if it was an unfair advantage, who's making money off of it, the whole 9 yards. So this is a major, huge victory. And it also goes against UMG's request to ultimately dismiss the case. They're not having it. UMG has objected to the request, saying that it is costly and time-consuming process of gathering the commercially sensitive information was an undue burden when the case could still be dismissed. Here's the key. Here's the catch. There's also been several different credible sources. I'm going to go to the one that's easiest to be able to cite, but there are several different sites that are reporting, including Media Takeout, that Universal is now offering, now that the judge has declined to dismiss the case and is granting Drake and his team the ultimate opportunity to see behind the curtains in the discovery process. They're saying that Drake is reportedly getting offered a $250 million settlement lawsuit.
Listen, this is the level that they playing on. What bothered me a lot is that I guess I'm just at the point where I'm just too elevated. I feel that way a lot when I deal with certain people and I talk to certain people, is that my thinking is too elevated. So when having this conversation, I realized like, damn, I can't even have this conversation with most people because you weren't really trying to be objective. You were trying to basically blend in with the crowd, and you wasn't even listening. I had to realize at some point I realized, oh, a lot of people actually didn't listen to the Drake disc. They actually didn't listen to it. And listen, that happens. There's people that I'm a fan of. I may miss your project. I got shit going on. Sorry, I'm busy. You know, like, listen, that could definitely happen. I've missed a lot of projects, right? Doesn't mean it's not good, but I think, you know, and also Not Like Us came out right after Family Matters, right? So people who argue in favor of Kendrick will say stuff like, "Oh, no, it's because he stepped on that shit." No, it's just that's how the news cycle works. If the response, yo, I swear, my apartment building, whenever people like close the door around like my building and whatnot, yo, it always sound like they're in the house with me. You know what I'm saying? This apartment's like mad fucking big. Anyway, so what's my train of thought? Oh, anyway, so go back to what I was saying about understanding what level they're playing on. I was telling my boy, I said, yo, you know how much a deal with Drake is worth? You know, listen, like, so the issue was about, for one, y'all owe me money. Two, you owe me a new deal. It's time for renegotiation, and you've been avoiding renegotiation. And it seems as though now that we are for renegotiation, you are ballooning someone else's numbers and calling in mad favors to bring my stock down. Because the thing is, when Kendrick calls him a PDF file on the song, that's what people repeat all over the internet. You see it all day long. That's the first thing they say. So you can see that the argument is legit that, yes, this is damaging his. I'm bringing out smoke. That's why I got the smoke going. But the argument is there that it's clearly damaging or was damaging to his career and reputation. And that's for any man. If any man gets accused of doing something that heinous, it's not something that people forget or let go of. No, your reputation is ruined forever. You will always, you know what I'm saying? So acting like having a record be promoted and then find out that you use your resources and call them favors and purchase payola, you know what I'm saying, and did podcast payola, because podcast payola may be even more powerful because, well, actually, it's the new payola, because a clip from a podcast can go viral. All right, people trust and listen, and they depend on these people to give them an opinion to have. That's why they watch these shows. They're looking for Joe Budden to give them an opinion. That's what human beings do in general. It's like we talk about politics, right? If it's something that I don't feel like really getting into, you can give me an opinion. I want to rock with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to rock with it. And it's almost unreal, because now the whole argument for this record and how big the record actually was, it's done. Because if this is true, UMG has admitted they basically admitted defeat, and they admitted defeat first. That's what a settlement is. It's not, I don't want to waste time with this. Angry Man made a really interesting point, and it really showed me how despicable you niggas is. And the argument that he made was, you've never seen especially the culture, side with the record label against a black, not just an artist, but a black artist that does hip hop music. And in those moments, you realize, oh, okay, no, you are really biased. You are really and truly a hater. Okay, I got my soundboard. I'm sure my soundboard's nearby. Listen, we soundboarding the whole episode, son. We soundboarding the whole episode, man. We ain't listen, bro. Hold on, man. What?
Little ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja.
Crusty ninja?
Goes on to say, if you thought the rap beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar was all about bars and billboards, nah, that's not really it. It says that Drake attended a game between the Houston Rockets and the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Toyota Center on March 16th. Everybody's been seeing him down in Texas and Houston. And they saying, according to an insider, his lawsuit against UMG may be on the verge of a quiet settlement, and the numbers being thrown around is basically in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Say Drake filed a bombshell defamation lawsuits against UMG, claiming that the music giant used bots and payola to artificially boost Kendrick Lamar's hit "Not Like Us," the song that's now being called the biggest track in the world. Drake's legal team is arguing that Universal, which backs Kendrick, manipulated the numbers to hurt his reputation and distort the competition. So basically, they're offering $250 million to settle the suit. And the question that we now have to ask is it enough? Is it enough? Because who's to say that Drake is interested in settling at this point? Maybe he feels as though this is a lowball offer. And not only that, maybe he has so much money. And again, I'm just speculating here and I'm just giving my thoughts. Maybe he has so much money and so many resources at this point that it's not really just about getting a payout. It's more or less about taking down what we know as the biggest entity in the music industry, or maybe it's double, a two-way street in which he's not only trying to crush them or get out of this, but also remove himself from his recording contract because he is much more profitable by himself instead of being controlled by a major, which he don't really even need at this point, right? Some people argue, he didn't need a major. I remember when Academics was reporting and he was saying that there are people that are at the music label that was saying that they can't wait until Drake had dropped his next project because he's going to see that they were the ones that were pushing him instead of him really having the motion that he had. Obviously, we seen the album with him and Party Next Door, and that crushed what that narrative was. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. Do you think that Drake is actually going to win this lawsuit? Do you also think that the music industry and UMG, Universal Music Group, are the ones that are manipulating things so that they can possibly hedge a bet to ensure that in the case that anything was to ever happen to Drake, knock on wood, or in the case that Drake ever removes himself from his contract, or if they ever tried to lowball him and he didn't resign, that they had another star that they were promoting that they can ultimately make a lot of money off of in order to continue to keep the lights on. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate you.
So I've heard this narrative before. I think I mentioned it earlier. I was getting to it earlier about how this may have all been employed to help Drake get out of his contract. Because to a certain degree, he knew how y'all was going to act. I think the main thing that Drake didn't account for was how just how black men treat each other, and just how we see black men in general. In the black community, if you refer to the hierarchy goes old black woman at the top, then it's women, then under that is kids, and then it's men. All right. So the narrative you also saw was basically what everyone was saying was, hey, why can't you take your loss like a man? Just be a man. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Don't complain. Don't say nothing. Because for the most part, what you really heard was people trying to convince you that all these whack songs were good because it meant the destruction or what you perceive as the downfall of a winner. That's what it was mainly about. You don't like winners. And you don't like good people. Because if you think Kendrick Lamar is a good dude, do you realize you say that with absolutely no proof? You can't tell me whose career he started. You can't tell me who he helped out. You can't tell fam. Yo, Drake has gotten countless niggas lit who were able to get other niggas lit. Drake was the only nigga that came into the game and didn't need a cosign. Drake came into the game getting Young Money hot. He got them hot. Without Drake, that movement is not the same as just Wayne. Having Wayne, Nicki, and Drake there at the same time, you'll probably never see that again. You'll never see three people that are talented on the same record in the same space again. Because all three of them got to be so big. I mean, no, it's mostly Drake got to be so big because Wayne's career was always in the decline once Drake came around. Because at that time, that's a long run for a rapper. From 05 on, now Wayne been here since 98. Well, from 05 on, Wayne was the man, right? And a run like that generally lasts about a couple of years. And most artists maybe like one, maybe a few runs. Maybe one big run, then maybe a few light ones, right? But Wayne had a long run, but I think what slowed Wayne down was jail, and Wayne didn't continue to progress his lyrics in terms of like making like great songs, because Wayne is from the era of the cookie cutter song, when like records didn't really have to be that good, not like how it is now. I watched a video with Hitmaker. He was making a point about how Drake established a whole different standard for the industry in terms of how songs are supposed to sound, how it's supposed to go, and basically knowing what the bitch need. You know what I mean? And if you listen to songs that came out before Drake, you can hear different kind of choruses. Those choruses, like, it's hard to explain, but if you ever listen to older early 2000s rap, like say like the Locks. Matter of fact, go back to Niggas Done Started Something, right? That is one of the worst recorded hooks ever. Like where like one person says one part, then someone else says the other part. It's like kind of offbeat. It's not the best look. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never lie to you, and I'm never gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna start now. So I'm trying to make the show focused. So we're going to go ahead and just move on. I'm not going to look up anything else. We're going to go ahead and move on to my favorite show. So we're going to stop sharing this, and we're going to share Daddy's favorite show. Daddy's favorite show. Okay, so I wanted to get into these two other couples, so I'm going to go ahead and let her finish. There was so much content yesterday that I just had to just keep on cooking. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break. You know what I'm saying? A quick break.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce.
We are back. So this is Ashley. I'm going to let her cook a little more. Then we're going to get into these other crazy couples, man. All right. So Ashley is a former dancer. She now works at a Waffle House. She said she a waitress. She waitress during the day, so she get them humble tips and whatnot. So when I first was watching this, I thought she was Hispanic, but she's not. Anyway, fair use, and let's go ahead and share.
See.
Okay, playing that game. I'll play a game. Let's see if I go back.
He's not scared of anything.
You and kiss you and be detrimental to him, that he doesn't want me posting anything until he gets out. I asked him about it. He told me
he and Bull catching up with the fam.
But I thought I was gonna see you after you got out. Is that still?
I might be able to catch up with you later on that night.
Do you plan on me meeting your mom or anything like anytime soon?
We're gonna get into all that. Let's take it one step at a time, though.
So she's 31 and he is 25. So I spoke on this yesterday. I didn't put the episode out yet. I just business that we landed here. I just figured we can go ahead and just recap here. So I talked to y'all about that age gap. All right, young men, watch out for the age gap. For the most part, real talk, it is so much safer for you. It's so much safer for you to just beat your meat, bro. The worst position you can be in, and this is how guys mostly wind up with an older woman. Guys a lot of times wind up with an older woman because she has a place and he don't got a place. And they start hanging out. And again, it's understandable because you're in your 20s. If you're a young man in your 20s, you need to be trying to find a way to get yourself into a room. Because if you have a roommate, it's the same difference if you go ahead and buy a room. At least you know that if you might get in a room from where you paying the landlord for a room and whatnot, at least you know that the room ain't going nowhere. Because you can have a roommate and they get behind on the rent, or you get a place that you can afford, get you a 2-bedroom that you can afford by yourself, then find a roommate. Or Airbnb the other room. Matter of fact, that's what I should do is Airbnb this other room. That's what I should. Sorry, Levi. Anyway, I don't know. I might have to. It might work. Anyways, but you need to, but that's how you wind up in these relationships, and that's going to always be a predatory relationship because, and when you at that age, not that you're a baby, but you are young. You don't know shit yet, and she's a little bit older. She knows he doesn't know anything. She knows that he has no skills to be able to be an effective. And I hate to use the word provide at this point because now that we're exploring the many facets of manhood, we're not going to be reduced to providers no more. We're not doing that. We are people. Providing is a part of what men do. It's not the only thing that men do. You understand? But anywho, she knows that he doesn't know. He doesn't have a program for her to follow. She knows that he doesn't have a vision for the future. She knows that he doesn't have the means or the abilities to do much of anything, much less take care of someone who already has a family. But a woman like that wants to date a guy in that position because a guy in that position is willing to fall for her game. Women always have a game, especially when she coming with those kids, right? Don't get me wrong. I don't think that what's funny is feminism makes women who are in a bad position think that they shouldn't do anything positive to change things. That's another reason why you guys want to keep on losing in dating. Because all the game that y'all want to follow, that women want to follow, especially black women want to follow, is always about cheating the man, tricking the man, dominating him, or having a deal that's only beneficial to you or more beneficial to you. You even have influencers saying stuff like, "Oh, it's always going to work out better if he loves you a little more, or he likes you more." That's not true, because that means that the woman will get into a relationship with guys she don't like when she does that. Women, you can't have a relationship where the woman doesn't like the guy. But women will do that though. But even that whole mindset, that's just an arrogance. That is an immature and evil mindset. Because what it says is you don't have to appreciate people. You are so lit, you are so special, so amazing that you don't have to appreciate nobody. Like, you don't have to appreciate someone's positive qualities because your head is so far up your ass. And we create this culture where any and everyone, because under the religion of the bad bitch, because the modern woman only believes in one religion, only one God, and that God is the baddie, the bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? The bad 304. Whatever she say goes. He says it's all right to be a hoe, it's all right to be a hoe. She says it's all right to break up your family, it's all right to break up your family. She says it's all right to go to Dubai and get violated, it's okay. It's OnlyFans. Anything goes under the religion of the baddie, except family. No family. And no focusing on what's good for the family. No family. Only makeup, lashes, weave. Not even really actually looking good. Makeup, lashes, weave, skimpy clothes, whore mindset. and I'm not saying this is who women are in totality. What I'm saying is that this is what you hear coming out their mouths in terms when it comes to relationships. And no part of that conversation. First of all, you get results like what she getting with that whole mindset. You talking to a nigga in jail. She met him because he called her number by mistake. She heard his voice and then wanted to know more about him. Matter of fact, so the number, when the call came, she probably lying. When the call came in, it was a call from jail. She said she thought someone close to her was calling and needed help. You would think once you found out, oh, this is the Negro in jail, oh, I'm good on that. Have a good evening, sir. No, that's not what happened. After that, she said, oh, 25 in jail, can't do shit. No problem. I'll be your girlfriend, and here we are. So right now, she's asking about meeting his family because what she wants is also a reassurance that basically they are beginning a relationship. Women always want to meet your family because she wants to know where she stands with you. You got a 25-year-old telling you, nah, one step at a time.
Oh. Okay.
You have 1 minute remaining.
All right. Love you.
All right, man.
You think I have somebody I love in the brick?
He always says I love you first, or like when I say I love you, he'll be like, all right, I love you too, babe. And now that this is going on, all of a sudden he can't say I love you. About 3 to 4 months in talking to Julius, I found out he was entertaining other women. He had a lot of girls that sent him money. There was one girl, she wrote me on Facebook, so you got my man's name tatted. And I'm like, obviously she's talking about Julius. So when I asked him about it, he told me that he's using girls while he's in there. And if I'm posting stuff on social media, that's going to be detrimental to him, that he doesn't want me posting anything until he gets out. That's not how he is on the phone. And then, like, he was saying he might see me the day he gets out. Like, he might see me. Like, I was okay with his situation. Guys can't just go dance and show some boobs and, get money the easy way. Guys, unfortunately, they have to hustle.
These are crazy pictures. And another thing I want to say is that when a woman she's 31 with a couple of kids, the fact that she finds this guy attractive or thinks that he's a suitable leader for her and her family, this says, and listen, I think it's BGS Ibmore. He coined this talking point, or created this talking point, or this point around how women do not mentally progress past the age of 14 years old, especially if they're unmarried and they don't have a man in their life, because there's no one around them who's keeping them rooted in reality and anchoring her to reality. If she's only around her kids and other women, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying women never have no logic, right? But obviously, judging by how shit plays out in our community, not enough. You're just not using enough logic. This nigga he basically just stole all these Dutches. He went behind the counter and got them Jones. All right, he got the carton of the Dutchess next to his face. She's seen these pictures and said, this is exactly. Rather than getting back with my kid's father, I need to go find this nigga. But again, gotta ask yourself, why is she attracted to this? Why? Because in her mind, she doesn't see herself as a grown woman. A lot of women want to be a little girl. I'm starting more and more. I'm getting into understanding that women want to stay as close to teenage responsibility and expectation as possible, and teenage thinking as possible. A lot of grown women do not want to grow up. Because that's one of the main points of the channel, man, is to help y'all grow the hell up. Because the thing is, if the grown people don't care about being grown, we can't all be young at the same time. We can't all be young-minded at the same time, because what happens is we pass on basically this immature behavior to the young people. All right? Because we got to show them how to be grown. Because this is what happens. Because if this was back in the day, yo, now mind you, she's not crazy older than him, but yo, that's a 6-year age difference the wrong way. It's not even like he's a young guy on the outside. He's a young guy. Well, he was a young guy in general. He's a young guy starting at the bottom. He's at ground zero. He has nothing. One more thing. Listen, all this shit really be proven. Y'all do not need no high value man for nothing. It's to the point where she's getting confronted. She got other girls he talked to stalking her. Because how do they find her page if they just know him and confronting her about a tattoo that she got for a man she never met before or spent any time with? Let me tell you something. That is a sign of a crazy person. Someone who shows their love by getting a tattoo, that is not a thing. That is one of the greatest signs that you are trash at relationships, and you do not understand what's important in a relationship. If you think that, you know what I should do? I should get your name tattooed on me. She has never even smelled his breath, and she got Julius on her body. Trying to tell you, this will be the same John on Kendra G or Kevin Samuel show back when he was alive, rest in peace, talking about, yo, I can't respect the man if he don't make 6 figures. All right, yo.
I know he doesn't have to do that anymore, and I know he can change. That was the plan, was to see me for a few hours that evening, and now he's saying that he might. I've never sent Julius money at all since he's been in there. I refuse to be one of those girls that he's using. So obviously he wants me. And he's never asked me for anything either.
Yo, more and more I've been realizing that, yo, women will come online and just lie unprovoked, all that stuff. He giving her the fat girl treatment. That's what he giving. He giving her the big girl treatment. You know what I'm saying? What he's going to do at this point is go with who got the most bread. And you're going to see his storyline is crazy.
I don't know. Of course, he can be with his family and stuff, but like at nighttime when you're about to go to bed, like I can't see you then. Like it's just weird to me. It's been a year of me loving this person, wanting to see this person, fantasizing about this person, and now it's finally happening. I'm definitely going to stay positive. I know I'm in love with Julius. I love the way he talks to me, the way he tells me he's ready to be a stepdad, the way he tells me he's going to be the perfect person for me when he gets out.
So that's the main thing too, and that's what she thinks she's doing right now. She think, all right, I need to get a man in here, but what kind of man can I get? Okay, and listen, and mind you, I mean, I don't think these are her only options. I think the reason why these women go with these kind of guys is because they represent a life with no rules. Okay, I'll be telling men, if you want to understand women, ask yourself, when you was 10, 11, 12 years old, and someone asks you, would you rather have parents who are going to be around you all the time, sit down and have dinner with you every night, go on family trips, you spend time, we go on road trips on the weekend, go fishing, go to church and stuff like that, whatever your faith is, right? Would you rather, but if you do all this stuff, you're going to be very successful when you're older, you're going to be very happy when you're older, right? Or would you rather have a parent that leaves the refrigerator stocked with Hot Pockets and French fries, and you got an air fryer? Let's put an air fryer and some Wi-Fi in it. Would you rather have the parent who stuffs the freezer with Hot Pockets and fries and a bunch of frozen food that you can eat, you know what I'm saying, and Wi-Fi, and they work 2 or 3 jobs and they ain't never home? Or would you rather the involved parent? You pick the freezer full of Hot Pockets every time, man. Every time you pick it. Lie to me. We ain't got a lot, Craig. You always pick them Hot Pockets. You want what's in that freezer. You know why you want what's in that freezer? Because you don't want to win. You're not thinking long term. Who not chasing greatness? You not chasing greatness. But now, real talk though, when you're younger, you're not attracted to that. You're not. That doesn't sound, because you don't have long term thinking. Even as an adult, you offer most adult stack, you know what I'm saying? You know, or something similar. They would have a hard time, or there would be hesitation at least. Bad juju, no good, right? So these kinds of men, they don't have to be a better woman. They don't have to be a woman with these kinds of men. But we're gonna go ahead and look at one couple in particular. I'm getting tired. I'm out of stamina, but I want to get to this couple. I think they Haitian. I could be wrong, but I think they Haitian. I'm gonna pause. All right, so let's get to this couple right here. I think the girl Haitian. I mean, I could be wrong, right? I think the girl Haitian only because, mostly because again her look and whatnot, just her features, right? And what she described is how a lot of Haitian American girls are, but they're very rebellious and they go through not a whole phase necessarily, but they always wind up in these bad relationships, right? These relationships where she's essentially the good girl and he either fuck up or he is always messing up or whatever. But it took me a long time to realize that she's not getting a bad deal. When you look at women like this, you can't look at it as why is she with him? Why is she dating him? You can't be looking at it like, is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna break you? You can't look at it like that. Take off your hater hat. You got a hater hat on right now. I'll give you a second to take it off. I'll wait. Hater hat is off. Thank you. Thank you for taking off your hater hat. Hi, hater. This is her level. This is the kind of relationship that she can mentally handle. Because in these relationships, you got to understand, there isn't the same level of expectation and quality. And also, got to realize, a woman who's too chaotic, I mean, women in general, right? And this is the point that Angry Man made about how they don't get better if the men don't call out certain behavior. But what a lot of men don't understand is that women can tolerate anything. One of their abilities is to be able to nest and get comfortable in any environment and situation. If you think about it, right? Women can tolerate anything. They can tolerate an abuse. If they want to be there, they can be there. Okay? She can tolerate having bad debt. She can tolerate having terrible friends. She can tolerate having a terrible relationship with her mother. She can tolerate anything she wants to tolerate. That's one of her abilities is toleration. Right? I really feel like feminism has convinced women to rewire their brains in ways that leads to bad outcomes. Because what it is that it makes it really hard for women to choose wisely, because in their mind, to a certain degree, they think they're supposed to be smarter than that man, or basically be with the kind of man that will allow you to do whatever you want to do. And you wind up in these foolish situations. Also, this is another instance of a great example, a prime example of how a lot of women do not mentally progress past 14 years old. Her situation is one where she's actually with this guy. This guy has 5 children already. He's not even in his mid-30s, I don't think. 5 children. Okay. Five children and 3 baby mamas. And we're gonna jump around for this couple right here, right? So we're gonna try to speed up a little bit.
Safety first. Demadric is getting out early. Oh my gosh.
Demadric sounds like a nigga I do not want to have in my building. I do not want to run into a nigga named Demadric in my lobby, in the building lobby. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of nigga that listen, bro. I'll be up all night, being paranoid about Demadric. All right, that's the type of nigga that definitely you smell weed coming from his apartment, and there's mad kids in there.
I'm so excited for him to come home. It's been a long time coming. I do not have good taste in it. The experiences that I had, I just the whole thing. Wait.
So Just real quick before we go any further, I wanted that. That's a great example of how women give you a little bit of the truth, and then but she'll say it or phrase it in a way to make it sound like it's not that bad. So what she's trying to convey to you is that, hey, I haven't had the best luck. That all of this is about just luck and who I've been around, and I don't know, right? That's what she's saying. But she tells the truth at first. I don't have good taste in men. That's it. That's it. That means it's you. Man, the problem is you. I was saying this on Threads earlier. One of the reasons why you're not going to see many of these goddamn dating events no more, and when I heard AC say it this way, it really made it clear for me. He said, the men realize that you guys are not serious. And when we say not serious, what they mean is they realize is that you are not mentally prepared to be a wife in a way that makes that man feel like, yo, I made it. Yo, I'm doing good in life. I got someone who loves me. I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry.
Come and get me, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Someone needs a place to stay for the holidays. Hey, if you need an oil change, come holler.
Holler at me. But the men don't realize that we cannot have relationships with most modern women because we have two opposing goals. I want to have family, and I want to have family, and I want to have a committed relationship for a lifetime. The woman, on the other hand, her agenda is ever evolving. It's like the Life of Pablo album. Remember that? Remember Kanye had an album that kept changing? You hit that one song one day is different, another song is different. The album kept changing. It was a living organism. It was really some evil genius shit. You fuck his album was in a lab somewhere, and it's changing and morphing and whatnot and all types of shit. But that's how her side of things is yeah, she'll tell you, yeah, I'm with you, I'm committed, you know what I'm saying, we're together, and yo, impulse. No one's talking to young women about being impulsive. No one's talking to young women about being promiscuous, about the timeline that you need to be looking at when it comes to getting in a relationship. This is also a prime example of how we talk about how women, you waste your best years. This one is not going to look that good in her 50s. You do not want to be dating in your 40s and 50s, period. Because the time when you look the best and you can attract the most men is in your 20s. And she's wasting that time with someone who has literally he already don't got no future. It's not like these niggas is in jail, they got out of jail, and they at least got on their feet. Okay, my man starting from ground zero with 5 kids. And he got a baby mother now. This guy right here, listen, this nigga right here, and he also crushes all y'all standards. He ain't 6 feet. He ain't making 6 figures. And that nigga is like 5'7", I think. All right. Listen, when you see this nigga get out of jail, matter of fact, we're gonna just focus on her for this episode. I want you guys to see this interaction with her and her coworkers real quick.
Sheltered. I didn't know certain things. So yeah, they spitting game, but I'm falling for it because I never heard it before.
I'm driving crazy.
Oh, you're beautiful. Back then I would be like, oh my gosh, do you think so? Now I'm like, what's the next line?
Not serious. Not freaking serious. So right there, this is how you see this too, where the women don't seem to know that, yo, you are embarrassing yourself. That is an embarrassing story. Like the way that modern women tell stories about themselves, it would be like a dude saying, so I'm the kind of guy, listen, I like to get straight to it. So when I'm having sexy time, you feel me? Listen, I just get up in there and I ain't gonna lie. We feel like right on time, 45 seconds, I go boop, 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 boom, go with the dynamite. And then the girl, my girl, she look a little mad and whatnot, and she roll over and she get her rolls, and I just fall asleep. Next day I wake up and I don't know what happened. All I know is I got in one hand I got the Subway sandwich, and the other hand some of her satin lingerie. You would think, wow, Six Pack, that's an embarrassing story. You know what I'm saying? Or, me telling a story about the time when I didn't know I didn't have no money in my account and I went to go and get gas and their machine prints out your balance. The guy doing the gas says, oh no, sir, you can't get the gas. You got $1.29 in your account. He yelled out my balance. That's an embarrassing story. I'm telling that story because it's an embarrassing example of an embarrassing story. I would never tell you that story as an intro to who I am. You would say, "Oh man, Six Pack, you down bad." Now that was only because I know it was unforeseen circumstance. When too many bills come out one time, I had to transfer some funds. You know what I'm saying? I had to I had to move some money around. you feel me? But yeah, but I'm just saying you see this throughout all these shows where they tell a little bit of the truth, right? But what she just told was her whole thing. All right. A lot of dark-skinned women and dark-skinned people in general try to put the insecurities on everyone else. Now, and basically the narrative is always, I didn't think I was attractive growing up and I had to gain confidence. That is everyone. No one thinks they're attractive growing up, and everyone has to build their confidence. Dark-skinned people are the meanest and the most insecure and the most terrible at conflict resolution. If you think about most dark-skinned people in your life that you've interacted with and whatnot, a lot of times their behavior or their behavior is either not consistent, or they're someone that's known for being either really rude or being just not tolerant of other people. They known for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But they usually, especially in Western culture, they very hard to get along with. You know what I mean? But that was it right there. Right. And the comments she made after that, those comments are so fucking pretentious, especially when it comes out the mouths. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with her and whatnot, but that don't look good on you. You're so beautiful. What's the next? Who are you talking about? And whoever's saying that to you, you need to be going to see what he's talking about. Not Gangstalicious over here. She waiting on Gangstalicious to get out. All right, you understand? And it's another reason why I would never date no girl who do hair.
I can't wait to hold his hand. I can't wait to.
Let's fast forward. Oh, here we go.
Goofy most of the time.
Me too. What you got going on? Certain things. So yeah, my mother was. I don't know how, but
here we go. Right here.
Well, back then I would be like, "Oh my gosh, do you think so?" Now I'm like, "What's the next line?" I can't wait to hold his hand. I can't wait to kiss on him, love on him. My nerves are everywhere. My mother was pretty strict. She wanted us to just really focus on school, then go to work and go home. And I was not supposed to have boyfriends, but whatever. Your girl was being a little fast. How to be in the mix. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
What you got going on?
Same old, same old.
Want to retwist?
Yes, ma'am. What's the matter?
Girl, let me tell you. He's getting released early.
The gay dude in here is standing on business. He lighting her up the whole time. He hit her with truth fireballs and truth Hadoukens the whole time, son.
They don't know what's going on.
They never had my back.
He told me how much he wants to take.
They never
He's
had.
getting out in 2 days.
How?
Honestly, I don't know how, but
Snitching.
He said snitching.
no.
One more time, son.
Magic
One
and
more
I
time.
have been on school, then go to work and go home. Me tell you. He's getting released early. He's getting out in 2 days.
How?
Honestly, I don't know how, but
Snitching.
And listen, he is the only voice of reason here. And you know why he's doing this? Now, gay dudes, for the most part, are always supportive of the bullshit, whether they're complacent or not. Right? He done heard them talk so much bullshit up in there that he just said, you know what? I can't take it. I can't take it. He's just like, yo, fuck it. I'm just going to tell y'all what it is. All right? And he might be right. He said snitching. Because that's when you listen. Anyway, you know what?
No. Demadric and I have been on and off for essentially 10 years. This time around, me and Demadric have been together for about like a year and a half. We got together when I was in high school, and he would come to my games, and that's when he asked me to be his girlfriend. And Demadric was my first real boyfriend.
I've been incarcerated for 2 years. I'm serving time for having a firearm behind that felony indictment. Keanu's a great person. We have a great relationship. We can be ourselves. Definitely goofy most of the time. I don't think it's ever really serious, unless we're talking about money. But other than that, nah. I have a proposal idea. I keep telling her I won't do it until I can buy the ring. She keeps telling me I can get a cheap ring, and I'm not cheap at all. I've never been one of those type of people.
Yeah, it's because this nigga does not intend on marrying her at all. What this man is basically doing is making sure that he got enough options for where he can go once he get released in case things don't go right with basically the primary baby mother. He got 3 kids with one of these girls.
I love Demadric. I love his smile. I love his laugh. Ooh, I love his arms. I love his body. Demadric is so sexy. Oh, don't get me started. He's so chocolatey. I'll lick him right now, right here. My man's coming home.
So he finna be on house arrest?
Yes, sir.
So you finna be cooped up in the house?
Yes.
Courtney, she ain't coming back to work.
Yo, listen, fam. He's doing what the kids say is clocking their T. You know what I'm saying? He's clocking T up in there.
You think I have somebody I love in the bricks?
No, I'm coming to work. Don't do that. Look, I'm coming to work, but I'm gonna be with Beta.
As long as you pay your booth rent, better do right.
Be right, sis.
I just know he comes with a lot. Have you talked to baby mama?
No. Demadric has 6 kids with 3 different.
6 children. She's coming in. This is like coming into a car loan upside down, and it's like 3 loans in one. Fam, he already has a family. He's already had a life. How do you have 6 kids and you in jail? So, and this is another prime example of, y'all have no problem sharing a man. She knows she shares this man with his baby mother. He got 6 kids. All right. And again, this is also another example of how less than 18% of black men impregnate close to 70% of the women, because we still got to factor in those non-black men, you know what I'm saying, who are also getting black women pregnant and having kids with. Because black women have 2 million more kids than black men. Let that sink in. 2 million more. You know what I'm saying? 2 million more.
Women.
How many does he have with Joella?
3. I really haven't had.
Ooh, Joella. Joella is a problem. This is the main thing I want to get to is Joella. Let's go, Joella.
I had problems with the other baby mamas.
You can, fam. When I saw this shit, I said, hold on, man, fam. Let's go ahead and change the screen right there, bro. When I saw this one right here, her name Joella. She got dreads and they red. You finna have a problem with Beloved right here. This is definitely somebody who will throw hands with her. She afraid of her. I'll let you know right now. She definitely afraid of her. It's another thing too. That's another reason why I really feel like, the future of relationships is going to have to be for men who are attractive that women really like. It's going to have to be 2 to 1. All right. I think for one, because more of y'all will have a man and more of y'all will have your needs met. And I think the next generation maybe can handle being a primary girl, because for the most part, most women cannot handle being a man's full-time everything. You just don't want to share with someone else. And that's another reason why you're not successful, because people have got to realize success has many fathers. Meaning that the input of many people, whether it's information or actual labor, the effort put in, it is how we become successful. Like, I've been politicking with all the homies that I know write music and can write songs. Say, all right, listen, let's put together a writing team. Don't overthink it. I'm gonna send you the track. Send me some ideas. I will take the ideas and I will create a song from it. You don't overthink it. You know what I'm saying? Recording your phone, send me your idea. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
I snap my fingers. You forget that you were ever gay.
I was never gay.
Exactly.
Wait, no, stop.
Yes.
No, stop. You can't. I was never.
You was never gay. Yeah, she a problem. Wait till you see what she be saying old girl be doing on social media.
Just that one. I don't really like to say her name.
And she afraid of her. That woman definitely told her that she'll beat her up before.
But you can always be the bigger person.
I've been the big person.
How?
Not speaking my mind and being respectful even when I'm disrespected. Posting on social media. I can't wait for the kids.
Yo, you said none missing my baby's father. Man, can't wait to hug my boy.
His daddy to come home.
Does that mean he on the phone talking to her? Y'all gonna meet at the bus station together picking it.
She trying to tell her, like plain, like honestly, like real talk. I don't know why that's absolutely true, and you're gonna find out why it could be true in a second. Wait till you see this next post. Okay, big baby mother, because that's the big one. That's Big Mama. We'll call her Big Mama. Big Mama is crazy. I ain't gonna hold you.
What would
we don't
do?
She don't believe that. She did the neck roll and everything. She don't believe that shit. And matter of fact, she afraid it's gonna happen. She afraid that girl gonna beat up at the bus stop.
I bet we don't. Joella is still in love with Demondrick. You know, she constantly posts.
Missing my BDF and me. Miss him dangling. She put three eggplants. Goodness gracious. So merch. Yo. First of all, these tweets are there to the point where the Love After Lockup team was able to go find them and put them here. She didn't even take this down. She's posting, and you know why she's posting this? Do you want to know why she's posting it? Because they are in a relationship. No one is a victim here. I think old girl understands that y'all are in a relationship together. All right. Listen to how she talks about their relationship and his transgressions, y'all.
It's about him. It's really annoying. You missed that good thing, but he's moved on. And honestly, I had him first, so.
But what if
she had a loser first? You hear how they're talking about this nigga's a loser. This nigga ain't got no car. He don't got his own spot. He don't make good money. Listen, he ain't making six figures. He ain't 6 feet. And for the most part, that nigga may possibly have no future. He may keep going back to jail for the rest of his life. And old boy right here is going to keep clocking. He is a clocking. He is a clocking the T. Clocking the T. He's bodying her. Yo, listen. He tired of her. He tired of her. Listen, he put his foot down.
telling her the same stuff he telling you though?
Yes. It's going to be a major problem. Demondrick cheated on me with her twice in the beginning.
That's a lie. That nigga, he's always smashing her. He has always been smashing. Ain't no you smashed baby mother twice. Why? He's always available. That's the CVS vagina. She always around. She don't really have a problem with it. So I'm keep trying to tell y'all. One of the reasons why like black women can be with like white, like racist guys is because like, yo, bad qualities and bad situations are not intolerable to women. Okay? It's not intolerable.
Of our relationship because he was going through a lot. He lost his best friend to a car accident. He was not himself mentally. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I kind of gave him space. And then I found out she was pregnant. Do I have resentment towards her? Yes, but it's not even because he cheated on me with her. It's the part that you keep disrespecting me and you dangle the kids above his head.
When he comes home, he's going to go to the better choice financially. Not saying he doesn't love you.
But he could have went to his daddy house. You know what I'm saying?
Will his daddy buy him clothes and shoes and
he'll
underwear?
have the clothes that he had already.
He might not want those clothes.
He wants
might new clothes. You're a hustler. You're gonna make it happen.
I do make it happen.
Right.
Yeah. Spoil him a little bit too much. I understand what I'm saying. I've spent maybe like more than 20,000 on him. I have 2 jobs that I have to juggle. It's hard. Do I feel like he's using me? No, I don't feel like he's using me. I feel like he wants to give me the world and spoil me. I just have to be patient.
You hear what she just said? This is also the danger of social media. She says, I know he wants to give me the world. Again, women got mostly, don't get me wrong, people mostly repeat what they hear, right? But women will blindly repeat things they heard. I know he wants to give me the world and spoil me. Man, that is not your storyline. That's not your part. Those are not your lines. Your line, those are not any, those none of that or none of it. None of it. No. None of that is your line. Not your line whatsoever. Spoil you with what? The only thing you're going to get from him is what you always got from him, which is drama, possibly a beating from that girl, because that girl definitely listens. She got multiple kids like that. When women who have multiple kids and still have sex with the baby father are dangerous. And not only that, not only is she doing it, she posted on social media. You know why she posted on social media? Because they are in a relationship. You are the funding. You are the money. If he go home with her, or if he stay with her, he's staying with her because of the stability. You understand? He a young guy. He's going to continue. And also, he's going to have more. He's not done having kids. That man going to have about, if he got 6 kids now, he's going to have about 8, 10 kids. If he don't get a vasectomy, he's going to have about at least 2 more. Because let me tell you something. Not only that Negro had that baby while y'all was in a relationship. The most despicable type of nigga is the nigga that will have a baby while you guys are in the relationship. You know how reckless that is? Because it's not a thing that happens. After, we broke up for a month or 2 and he come back with a baby.
It's okay. I love him, but it's so expensive outside. Just come on back inside, because that's what we gonna do. He not going outside no more. I'm done.
I love you. I feel like sometimes you're naive. No, I've done that. That whole thing, date somebody fresh out. Yeah.
You hear this throughout this show. How women will say stuff like, yeah, I've done this before. I did this when I was in jail. A lot of women, especially if they got kids they older, have had at least one relationship or try to talk to a nigga in jail. And I posted this on my threads earlier about like, what these stories say about y'all is that you're not attracted to positive qualities in men. A majority of you are not attracted to having a healthy relationship. All right. And your concept of boredom is sick. If you're bored, why can't you get a fucking hobby? Do you understand that basically boredom for you means that you should end a meaningful relationship? And again, like I said before, the men are realizing y'all are not serious people. You're not serious about relationships. She will get out this shit for anything. But this is not uncommon. This is a common thing for someone who has a decent job or decent money coming in. Get with a guy like this, because the position he's in, he's trying to get stuff back together. He won't be able to do anything with her or for her for a couple of years.
They fill your head with all these hopes and dreams, and it's all a lie.
So I feel like it's different for me too.
Girl.
Ooh, she said I feel like it's different for me. This is dangerous. These are real people, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to keep pausing. These are real people.
Everybody thinks it's different for them. And now I'm out here alone.
Yeah.
I don't trust Demadrick. I think he knows she loves him and he takes advantage of that. Demadrick's baby mama. I think that there's more to it, because why would she go to the trouble of posting all this stuff on social media if there wasn't something going on? This is his 3rd time that you've given him a chance.
Right.
Just gonna keep going back to jail because Kiana gonna do whatever and be there when he get out, and then he gonna have 12 more kids while he out this time. Then you're gonna be waiting on him and all 12. them when he get out the next time.
You know what? I'm about done with you.
He not playing. He's dead ass. You see the customer over here laughing? He's wilding her up because he tired of seeing her do stupid shit because he knows how stupid this sounds. Rather than be with a guy on the outside who actually got a job that you can look at. And that's another thing about how women think in the subjective. Shout out to the angry man. I don't want him thinking I'm stealing his points. Women think so deeply in the subject because you got to realize women have a vast imagination. And her imagination, when she's not checking her imagination, women have to be careful to not over imagine and let her imagination run wild. And men have to be careful to not over manage, meaning he has to be careful to realize when I don't have control over that thing, or I shouldn't try to control that, or I shouldn't try to manage that. I need to call someone else who basically I need to defer to someone else's leadership and information and knowledge and understanding so that I can get the best outcome. Those are the men who do the best. You know what I'm saying? But the way that women are, women don't think in the objective, don't think in facts to the point where they'll let their imagination, because her imagination is telling her this could happen. He could become an astronaut. He could become, one of the top employees at Tesla. And he could be an alien. He's more likely to be an actual Anunnaki alien than be a man that's going to be able to provide anything for you. You are in a deep fantasy. He want to spoil you and give you the world. Nigga, with what? When you apply McDonald's, they want to know if you've been in jail before. I need someone to believe in me how y'all be believing in these inmates, yo. I'm let them finish, yo. Then we're gonna go ahead and close out. That was actually it. Nah, you know what? I'm out of here, yo. I gotta go. I'm tired. I gotta make these burgers. These burgers in here frozen. They're ready to be cooked. You understand? Yeah.
They don't know what's going on.
They never had my back.
He told me how much he wants to protect you.
They never had me.
Little ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja.
Listen, this is the beginning of the season. It's actually 3 episodes, man. There's a lot of ground to cover. We got a lot of work to do. I ain't gonna hold you. You feel me? But just to go ahead and finish up on this couple right here, because I love to break down the archetypes and the dynamics. So this one right here, she don't have no kids and she not fat. So what's going on with her? What's going on with this one is, for the most part, now she is the example of the girl who's going to waste her best years. These are the last 3 years she want to have a looking that young. After that, she want to start looking a lot older. Not that it looks bad if you look older. It's just that, again, a woman's looks is like being an athlete. No matter who you are, how talented you are, your best years are going to be between 15 and 25. If you're an athlete, that's going to be your best years, because that's when you can build the most strength. And your body is still in a state of where you create a lot of HGH, so you can take more punishment. You have more energy. Whereas when after 25, your body starts producing HGH, which you know what produces testosterone. Just all the good hormones that keep you looking good and feeling good. You understand? So that stops happening, right? Over time. So genetically, that's the best time to be seeking those kind of opportunities, or to be going hard if you're an athlete. It's the same thing with women. First of all, most women, they meet the guy they're going to have kids with between the ages of 16 and 25. That's when they at least meet. I'll go up to maybe 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? But she meets the guy she's going to have kids with between 16 and 27. All right. When you count when the high school relationships that turn into adult relationships, or the kids that people have in high school, like a lot of, so those are the best years. And what she's going to do is keep going through these bad relationships, and then she's going to come into her 30s. If she's not, I forgot how old she is. I think she's in her 20s. She's going to come into her 30s. Now she's wasted all these baby making years, where she could have been having a marriage and having babies and whatnot. Because what also happens with women who grow up with single mothers, even if they have a stepfather, they wind up having a resentment for regular relationships, and they have this "it's going to be different for me" mentality. They're the kind of person that where they know this may end badly, but they will ignore it for the sake of impulse, right? You can tell that her stepfather, which I'll show him in the next time we do this because it's more to show, but we'll be here all day. He's a cool guy. He's not a bad guy at all, and I'm not saying that he's a vagina, but easygoing guys like that don't rule with an iron fist. They don't have a lot of rules and standards for their family. They're kind of the go with the flow kind of, you know what I'm saying? And also, again, when you're around kids that aren't your kids, you don't have the same authority. That's one of the reasons why a lot of men, if they want to be in control of their household, it's hard to date a woman who got kids if you want to be the head of the household, because you have a series of people who are not really under your control. Anyway, we out, man. We done.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce.
I'm safe. Subscribe to the channel.